Hello there, this is Joe Martin, and welcome to the Cabin Talk. I hope you had. I hope your Christmas was good. Mine was really good, really fun. For some of you, I know that this is a difficult time of year. Sometimes people say something like this to me. As a matter of fact, someone did recently. They just said this: "People are the worst," or they say something like, "I hate people." And she said this as she explained her isolation. That her life was really isolated and had really shrunk down. And really, her life it becomes more magnified sometimes during Christmas and New Year's. She said her life she described was really sad. And I said, I acknowledged that some things that had happened in her life had been really difficult, and that people do hurt us, and sometimes people are cruel, or they're just insensitive, or just they just kind of cut you out. But I also said people can be amazing and can be incredibly encouraging, and they can just be great, and they are also essential, good or bad, for learning to love like Jesus. If you're a follower of Jesus, you want to be like him, that you see that as your purpose, God's purpose in your life, that you would be like him. I always say, remember John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. He loved people. So getting isolated because of the deeds of others are, sometimes that happens. Sometimes people just kind of put you in a bad spot, but this happens. Sometimes it's factors beyond your control. Maybe you don't have transportation, or maybe you are in a tough financial position, or you are not well and you're not mobile. These things are beyond your control, and these kind of problems are not new. But neither is the emotional effect of isolation. And listen to what Psalm 102:4 says. My heart has been smitten like grass and has withered away indeed. I forget to eat my bread. Because of the loudness of my groaning, my bones cling to my flesh. I resemble a pelican of the wilderness. I have become like an owl of the waste places. I lie awake. I have become like a lonely bird on a housetop. Beautiful imagery. You say, well, that's not the most uplifting, but if you feel like you've become like a lonely bird on a housetop, I want to share some good news with you. I really do. No matter your reasons, no matter your fears, there's only really one way off that roof. There really is. You need people. You do. And this is scary. And this is, it's scary because there's really no guarantees. But the way God created you, even though your personality may be more, introverted, to use that term, you were created for relationships. You were created for face-to-face, hand-to-hand friendships. And unless you are just unable to, absolutely unable to be friends with anybody for some reason, which we could explore more, or you live in Antarctica. In other words, by unable, I mean that you live someplace remote. You don't really know anybody. There's nobody around. Those are some things. But you were created for relationships, face-to-face, hand-to-hand friendships. And maybe you had those at some point in your life, but, this happens in life. Your life changes, and there's lots of things that contribute to the fact that you can end up with a friendship in a friendship desert. You may ask the question, where do I find these people? Because, people are the worst. Well, this Sunday, and I know this is a little bit of a plug, but you can find these messages online. But it's way better if you are, and I'll describe this. If you can be present, I'm going to start a series of talks that will help you with this challenge about dealing with loneliness and feeling isolated and feeling like you're in a friendship desert. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a spoiler. The solution is not going to start with other people. So don't shut it off. It's not going to start with other people. It's going to start with you. It's going to start with you locating yourself first. Kind of saying, how did I get here and where do I find myself? Having that honest conversation. Shutting Netflix off. Not doom scrolling on your phone. Just locating yourself, and you making a decision in your own life to begin moving in the direction, choosing to learn how to be a better friend. There's an old saying, and I know that it's super simplistic, but if you want friends, try being friendly. That takes in a lot of ground. That means you're going to probably have to make an effort to be around people, and it'll be hard to start out. This is going to be really difficult for some of you because this has been a while. You're out of practice. Maybe you were never that good at it, but you got to learn. You're out of practice, yet you were called by Jesus to learn to love like him, that you love one another as I've loved you. And you can't do this without ever being around people or with people. This week, here's your practices for this week. Get up Sunday morning and go to church, a church service. Now, it might not, maybe you don't live around Toledo, or maybe you go to a different church, but if you're a part of TFBC, get up and go to a church service. You've got to start planning to do it. And if you don't plan it, you're not going to do it. You say, oh, well, I have people coming or whatever, plan to come, and say they'll probably still be there. They might even come with you. And so get up and go to a church service. When you're there, now this is a little extra step. Just make a decision to walk across the room and introduce yourself to one person. Now, if you are a part of TFBC, or my breakfast class or one of the other classes, or maybe you just attend one of the services, maybe you just started to attend, or maybe you've been thinking about attending, come to the breakfast. It's around 9:15. Go to the breakfast. You can stay for a class. There'll be opportunities. If you want to have friends, you're going to have to be friendly. You have to try it. Now, if you want to invite another isolationist, somebody that you already know maybe is finding themselves in the same boat, if they say no, just go anywhere. And just go anyway. Not anywhere, but I guess you could go to church anywhere. That's a good church. But if they say no, I'm not doing it. Just go. Just come to church anyway. Or maybe with your friend, to share this cabin talk. At least they'll know where things are going. Look, we have to help each other learn and grow into being good friends. This takes a lot of time. It takes trial and error. It takes sometimes disillusionment and disappointment. And you say, well, I've already got plenty of that. Well, okay, you're over the worst of it then. You're realistic. But we are better. We are better together. And being together is part of what it means to be part of a body, about the family of God. And so now one other thing about, some of you have asked me about end of the year giving. This is not a shameless plug. It's just helpful for you. A lot of people have wondered about that because it's coming up to the end of this year. It's real simple. Just go to ToledoFirstBaptist.com//give. It's so simple and easy if you want to give. And I know some of you are, you do this on a regular basis. Some of you do it like an annual thing where you say, oh, I haven't done what I I've made a commitment to do. And so that's how you can do it. And so listen, share this video with somebody if it's helpful. But more importantly, share yourself. Show up. Be present. Sometimes maybe your first step is just to show up. And so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you. I'll be looking for you. I really will. And you can share this video. You can, whatever people do, you like it or whatever, please do that. Thanks so much for watching.